Okay.
Hi, I'm Jonathan Rogers, Game Director on Path of Exile 2. Welcome to GGG Live. Well, it's about time for our first major content update. Today, we're going to show you an exclusive reveal of Path of Exile 2, Dawn of the Hunt, which launches on April 4th. Twitch drops are enabled on today's livestream, so make sure you follow the instructions below in order to claim your Executioner's Guillotine finisher effect.
Ooh.
Now in today's stream, we're going to take you on a deep dive into the new Dawn of the Hunt update. We'll cover a new class, 5 new Ascendancy classes, and huge expansions on character systems like unique items and
They're only
support
doing
gems.
one class?
After that, it's on to the endgame improvements,
That's
including changes
interesting.
to systems, a bunch of new encounters, and lots of other content. We're going to finish up today with a live Q&A session where Ziggy D will ask Path of Exile 2's game directors, myself and Mark, your questions from Twitch chat. Now we have a lot to cover today, so let's get started with a trailer for Path of Exile 2, Dawn of the Hunt.
I wonder if the Ascendancies
We
also
as
include
Mary
the new class.
are guided by the spirit. It provides prey, shelter, even love. But for me, one day, all that were changed. The spirit
Get your
it
drops?
showed me something.
Yeah.
Something forbidden.
What the fuck am I looking at?
And to defend all I loved, I used it.
Lightning Spear?
I lost everything that day. But fate weren't finished with me yet. I'll right the wrongs I've done. I'll do what I must.
Why did they
No
imprison them and not
matter
just
the
kill them?
cost.
Oh, what the
I
fuck?
will hear the spirit once more.
Wait, is it gonna be crazy that you start in a different zone with these guys? She doesn't she doesn't get hanged, she escapes from prison, so you start in a different zone? What the fuck was that? What? Oh, these are probably power charge moves. Roa! That's sick. What? They're probably gonna be spear and what? Oh, what was that? Oh, okay, Rogue Exiles. 100 new support gems? Whoa! Oh, what is that? Necromance? I couldn't, okay. New maps? Oh my god. And much more? Oh, I'm overloaded. I need to watch that again. I have to. There's so many things. What's the other weapon type gonna be? One spear? What's the other one gonna be? April 4th.
Now, as you can
Next
see,
Friday.
in Dawn of the Hunt, we're introducing the first new class since early access to POE2, the Huntress. The Huntress is a spear-wielding Asmeri warrior. Born into a society with strict traditions, she was exiled from her homeland after using the power of a skill gem to defend her village. As a dexterous spear user, she specializes in both melee and ranged combat, dashing into and out of battle. Spears have extended range and a short dash.
Oh,
but
that was
unlike
like,
other melee weapons, you can also throw them.
I don't know why that reminded me of
In order to make a hybrid ranged and melee
that's
character
Syndra,
work,
Shyvana.
we had to do a lot of thinking about ways to make it fun to both enter and exit melee range. The first skill you will get as a Huntress is Whirling Slash. As well as striking in a circle around you, this skill creates a whirlwind that blinds your enemies. Leaving the whirlwind will make it explode. The more Whirling Slashes used, the bigger the whirlwind, and the bigger the explosion. Once you're out of there, you'll want to follow up with something ranged.
So
Whip
far, it
this
doesn't
spear
appeal
around
to me.
Shoot twisters towards your foes. These
But I was
twisters
so
bounce
wrong
off walls and can hit
the
enemies
last time.
multiple times.
And all the things that I thought would
You can
appeal to
also
me
throw twisters
didn't.
inside a
And all the
whirlwind
things
to shoot
that
out
did,
extra tornadoes that do way more damage.
were fucking
In her offhand,
things
the
I would
Huntress
have
will
never
usually want
expected.
to hold a buckler, which allows you to do a new skill, parry.
Buckler.
While holding down parry, your character will counterattack any incoming attack from monsters near you, stunning
Oh
them.
my god.
In addition, the monsters will take extra attack damage from your follow-up strike. Some specific skills are designed to be used after
kinda
a
cool.
parry and have extra effects. Disengage is a skill that does a quick jump back, damaging enemies in front of you, and it can be used to interrupt other actions.
That's just
like
Frostwave.
dodge roll. If you use
That's
it
literally
against a
just
parried enemy,
Frostwave.
though, it causes an explosion and gives you a frenzy charge. Just be careful. If you parry too much, you're going to get stunned and possibly killed. You can combine this combo with Whirling Slash. Slash, parry, disengage, and you'll get an explosion.
I wish
with
they
the
wouldn't
disengage
show us
and the
this
Whirling
stuff.
Slash.
Like, tell us, oh, this is the
Huntress also
combo,
has a
this is how
variety
you
of
use it.
elemental
Let us
spear
figure that
throw
out.
attacks. You could use Lightning Spear to bounce lightning between your foes.
What?
Or
That
you
looks
could throw
sick.
Explosive spears into the ground. These spears take a while to detonate, but when they do, they'll incinerate
Oh
anyone
my
caught in the
god.
blast.
Can you put that on a totem
All
and
spear
call it a
throws from the
Zizaran
Huntress can
skill?
also be empowered by frenzy charges. For example, explosive spears will do an even larger explosion and leave fire on the ground.
Wow.
And these empowered versions can activate even more combos. Using Whirling Slash over ground fire will suck it into the whirlwind, adding fire to the explosion.
See, now that looks
Using
kind of
twisters inside
cool.
a fire whirlwind will shoot out fire tornadoes as well.
Do we have Cyclone?
And
No,
you can
we
do
don't,
similar
right?
combos with ice and
That's
lightning too. Now, a key aspect of hunting is exhausting your foes by causing blood loss. This skill is Rake, which dashes towards your target and unleashes a deadly slash, opening up wounds on your enemies. Follow up with Disengage and watch them bleed out as they run towards you.
I don't like disengage skills. I
On the health bar of
really,
monsters, you
really
can see
hate
how much
disengage
blood loss
skills.
the enemy has experienced, and the Huntress has skills to
The
take advantage
Frostwave
of it.
feels so bad
For
for
example,
Monk.
using Blood Hunt will thrust forward and cause a bloody explosion. The more blood loss, the bigger the explosion. If you want to cause
And
bigger
dash
damage,
in skills
try
are
out
so
Rapid
dangerous.
Assault. The final hit of this multi-hit combo will stick a spear into your enemy for a big
But
blow.
they're usually so
Now,
good.
Explosive Spear and Rapid Assault both result in leaving spears behind, either in the ground or in enemies. But there are other skills that leave spears around too, like Storm Lance, that leaves an electrical spear that arcs towards enemies. But what can you
Okay,
do with all
so the
these
25
spears?
skills are
Detonate them, of course.
probably like
Thunderous
divided
Leap
in
will allow
half
you to
between
jump onto
melee and
and
ranged.
explode any spears either in the ground or in your enemies. Now,
That
as
looks
well as
cool.
hunting animals, the Huntress also has the ability to work with them. While fighting any beast,
What?
you have the ability to tame it and use it as a companion. You can only have one
Spectres?
companion at a time, but it will keep the mods that were on it. Try to find a rare beast with good mods to take full
It keeps its
advantage of your ability to
mods?
tame them. Now this is just the beginning
It
of the
keeps
Huntress.
its
We've
mods.
really tried to make hybrid
What?
Ranged and melee gameplay work for this class by having a huge amount of synergy between ranged and melee options. There are 22 new skills available for the Huntress.
Wait, my brain is.
In-game, you'll
I'm
be
thinking
slaying
about all the
hundreds of
crazy
insanely
mods that you
powerful
could get.
spears, sending forth spirit animals and summoning the might of Solaris from the sky.
What the fuck
We
is
still
that?
haven't talked about ascendancy classes yet. What can the Huntress ascend into?
Well,
the
I
first
have to
ascension
play
class
the-
you could choose is the Ritualist.
Okay.
The Ritualist has embraced the darker side of his merry traditions by harnessing the power of animal sacrifice and plague. The Corrupted Life Force skill causes all enemies around you to grow volatile blood boils on their skin. When those enemies are slain, the boils will burst, spreading corrupted blood to all enemies around them. The Ritualist
Interesting.
also excels in taking advantage of magical trinkets. The Unfurled Finger skill allows you to equip an additional ring on a finger around your neck. Taking Mystic Attunement increases the bonuses of all the rings and amulets you have equipped. Now
Oh,
this is one of my favorites. As the Whispers ask,
So it's
grants you a
essentially
new
getting
skill,
4 rings.
Ritual Sacrifice. Use the skill on the corpses of slain rare monsters to absorb the
fi-
power in their
it's-
blood, to give you one of their modifiers for a short time.
that's lame.
Specialize
kind of like
further
having a
into
headhunter.
Ritualistic Sacrifice with As the Whispers Demand, which allows you to
Kind
perform
of.
that skill on yourself instead of a corpse.
But it's like
Cut your
having
own
5
hand, sacrificing some of your own blood to empower
5
yourself.
accessories.
The
3
Amazon
rings, 1
Ascension is for
amulet,
those
and
looking
then
to
they're
hunt
all
more than just
25%, so it's
beasts.
essentially 1
Trained as
more.
an elite guard to the most important as merry elders, the Amazon will
That's
use
probably
more
pretty
traditional
broken
fighting techniques
stat
mastered
stick.
to perfection. The Predatory Instinct skill will cause you to reveal weaknesses in the defenses of rare and unique enemies, causing you to deal more damage. You can see those weak spots. with
Oh,
the
yeah,
center
look
on
at the
their
health
life
bar.
bars. While using elemental infusion, any charges you consume will infuse your weapon with elemental power, causing any projectile attacks to explode on impact. The critical strike skill is as simple as it sounds.
I don't like charges. They need to do something with them.
As critical strike chance. Additionally, you have skills like Mystic Harvest, which allows your elemental damage to leech life, and as Mary Brew.
Oh, that looks kind of crazy.
Life and mana. So those are the 2 new ascendancies for the Huntress, but those are not the only ascendancies in Dawn of the Hunt. We've added a new ascension class for 3 of the other existing classes too.
Who?
First up, for our warriors out there.
Oh, so this was an ascendancy.
The warrior is a blacksmith in origin, taught by his
guy
father
hitting the
Renly.
anvil.
With this ascension, you can take your smithing skills to new heights by embracing power from the insatiable one
Yorn.
himself, Kitava. Smiths of Kitava are master blacksmiths.
It's fucking
and have
Orn.
the ability to forge their weapon, quite literally. Using the Against the Anvil notable skill, you can enhance your weapon with fiery destruction before any battle.
Okay.
After doing so, your attacks will release explosions on hit for maximum devastation. You can also use the power of Kitava to summon an animated copy of your weapon to fight alongside you.
Anime
A
weapon
great blacksmith can do more
on
than just forging
warrior.
a weapon, though. Their armor can be enhanced
Marauder.
too. Now you might think this ascendancy class tree looks a little abnormal, and you're right.
Yeah, what the fuck
There's
am
a
I?
lot of
This is
notable
smiley
skills
face.
disconnected at the bottom there. By taking this point here, which is free to assign, your character is unable to equip body armors with mods of any kind. So your body armor must be normal. Sounds like a downside, right? Except now in true blacksmith fashion, you get to craft your own body armor by taking those disconnected notables with your points.
What
If you want
the
your body
fuck?
armor to grant life, take this notable. If you want resistances, take this one. There's so many choices.
Do you only get
Think of it like
one
you're
point?
crafting your own body armor, just in a more literal sense.
Wait, how many points
Now,
can you put in?
let's move on to those who prefer the reassuring feel of a crossbow in their hands, the mercenary. Alongside the existing ascension
I
classes,
hated this
the
class.
Gambling Legionnaire and the Witch Hunter,
I
you can
really
now
hated
play
it.
as the Tactician.
I didn't like the
Tactician
reload.
is a former Blackguard elite. Free from the duties of a Blackguard, he is able to use his training to decimate the monsters of Rayclast and earn a healthy income.
Jesus,
doing so.
AoE.
This training comes in the form of various skills like suppressing fire, which causes all projectiles to pin enemies. When combined with the right where we want them notable, your pin not only stops
I'll
them
try
from
it,
moving,
but
stops them from performing actions
yeah, I'll
too,
give it a try.
similar to freeze. With a soldier's training, the tactician also works well cooperatively. Using the whoever pays best notable, you can place multiple banners at once. The watch how we do it skill gives a portion of your weapon's damage to your allies as well.
What the
But if
fuck?
that isn't enough, you can also command your army of off-screen archers to unleash hell and carpet an entire area with arrows. Finally, witch players will be able to join their legions by becoming undead themselves.
Oh,
In
finally.
Dawn of the Hunt, we're introducing the Lich Ascension class.
That's why we get
The Lich
companions,
is a
because
master of
Spectres are
chaos
probably
and
here.
curses and could sacrifice her life to enhance her energy shield. The Crystalline Phylactery skill allows
Oh,
you to
wait, maybe
dominate a
not.
jewel in which to contain part of your soul, massively increasing its power. There's just one downside to splitting your soul this way, though. If you have no energy shield, your mana costs will shoot up. The Necromantic Conduit skill causes you and allies in your presence to have unholy might, granting extra damage as chaos damage. Rupture the Soul makes enemies you curse explode with chaos damage when slain.
Oh, that's fucking broken.
Dominion over Flesh allows you to apply an
Oh,
additional
this is the
curse.
occultist. It's not necromancer.
It's safe to say you'll be the true master of the occult by choosing the Lich
Yeah,
class.
okay. It's the
So Dawn of
occultist.
the Hunt has the Huntress and 5 new Ascension classes, but it doesn't end there. Let's take a look at some of the new skills we've added. Now you may remember we've previously talked about the Raised Spectre skill. It's finally complete.
Oh, it is
Available
here.
in the upcoming
Let's
expansion.
go.
It can be found in the occult skills on the skill gem crafting panel.
Level 7?
Raised Spectre is a skill that allows you to trap the soul of almost any monster in the game,
So when do you get that? Act 3? The start of Act 3?
which you can then summon in the skill panel.
Okay. I was kind of hoping
This
for it
costs
in Act 2,
and will
but
revive automatically if they
it's like
die.
end of Act
But
2,
the spirit
start of
cost
Act
varies
3.
based on the power of the monster. You could summon an army of weaker monsters, or a few of the more powerful monsters. You can combine them with your existing skeleton minions, or summon exclusively specters. It's all up to you and how you want to customize your army of the undead. Given that there are hundreds upon hundreds of monster variants in Path of Exile 2, it's safe to say you'll be experimenting with this one for a while.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Seeing
playing.
which monsters serve
For
you
sure.
best. Now let's move on to our next skill.
That's what I'm playing
Since we've been
first.
talking about summoning undead so much, let's have a change of pace and summon something a little more alive. In Dawn of the Hunt, we're adding the Summon Rower skill. Summon your friendly rower to aid you in combat
Well,
as a
oh
minion.
fuck, I didn't learn. What is
You
that
can
linked
also
to?
mount your
What
rower
weapon?
in combat at any time, allowing you to move at full speed, even while shooting arrows or throwing spears.
That
Wary,
looks
though,
so fucking
if you take too
broken.
much damage while riding your mount, you can be knocked off and get overwhelmed.
Oh.
It's worth keeping an eye on your stagger bar, as falling off the mount can mean almost certain death. On the topic of new ways to enhance your character, let's talk about support gems. Support gems are used to modify your skill gems in meaningful and interesting ways.
Why are you
Currently,
telling
we
us this?
feel that a lot of builds have insufficient options here. To alleviate this, we're adding over 100 new support gems.
Oh my god, that's so
Hema crystals
so
will
needed.
enable a new kind of bleed build, turning the damage over time you would have done into explosive Vile crystals. Alignment
This was
is a
so
support gem for
needed.
bow attacks, which can reward skilled players with good positional skills.
Having like
Caltrops
3
will
skill
allow you to
gems
enter the
that
battlefield
like
with
kind
hazards,
of
slowing
feel
your
like they
foes as you
worked
fling spears through
was
their
really,
ranks.
really bad.
But there's plenty more for every playstyle.
Yeah,
Such as
they need to
enormity,
work on all shit too, not just like.
unsteady tempo,
And some of like the AOE ones, or not the AOE, the I'm blanking. The
retaliate,
that looks cool.
syzygy. Yep, that's a real word.
No, it is not. He's just making up shit. The fucking I can't think. Determination,
We've talked
Grace,
about a new class, new ascendancy classes, new skills,
all the
and new
what the hell
support
do
gems.
I call
But
them?
let's not forget about the core of a true
Oh my
action
god, I'm
region,
blanking.
the items. To start with, let's talk about uniques. We're adding over 100 new unique
Auras.
items.
Fuck me. Okay,
This
the
time we've made sure to
the
add
auras
uniques
only
with a
having
focus on
one
mid and
support
endgame
gem for
tiers
them?
to make sure there are more exciting items
And
to
you
find
can't even use
for
them?
higher level characters.
because you don't get
Let's look at
spirit
some
early.
examples. Embrace your inner devil with Chernobog's Pillar.
I hope there's like
Grants you a large amount of
20.
fire damage based on your block chance. The Coming Calamity allows you to become a true master of the elements, granting you all 3 elemental herald skills without costing any spirit. At the same time, it penalizes enemy resistances. Wastegate is a belt useful for builds using a single resource like Blood Magic or Archmage builds. With this belt, you can use 2 life flasks or 2 mana flasks. It's up to you. Now, we could go through these all day, but we'll leave most of them for you to discover. Suffice to say, though, we want there to be way more cool things to find. Over time, our goal is to add a unique to every single base item type at a minimum, so that you can chance any base in the game. Now, given that we have the Huntress, we have a set of unique spears from early game all the way through to endgame as well. One example is Scyther's Spear, which combines bleed and fire in a powerful way. It allows your ignites to be aggravated, dealing substantially more damage. We're also introducing a suite of unique bucklers with some interesting parry mechanics. Calgyra's Arc, for example, allows you
I've
to
never
parry
seen
projectiles from any distance.
a
And
unique
we're
be
also
really
adding our
good.
first unique charms. Bayra's Anguish will not only protect you from Ignite, but will also emit a devastating fire nova whenever you do get ignited. In sum, there's just
I don't
a
know.
ton of new uniques
These
to
are all
find.
like
We can't
someone's
wait
gonna
see
have
the
to say
weird and
whether they're
broken
good or
builds that
not.
come out of it. Now, we also want to talk about crafting options. In each major update during early access, we'll be continuing to add and improve the options here. We have various new crafting tools that have been added as rewards to many of the different types of new content that we're adding.
Wait, what's new about
But for
those?
now, I just want
Those
to
are
mention the
transmutes,
changes to
augments,
runes.
regals,
Runes add
exalts.
commonly available mods, but since they only have one tier, flat damage mods tend to get outclassed by in-game. So we've changed runes to
Oh,
multiple
they're
tiers,
tiered.
allowing you to get higher tier
Only
mods than before.
2% for each tier?
Our plan is to significantly expand the number of more specialized mods.
You'd
for
think it'd be like
crafting
5%
using
per
sockables as we
tier.
add new content over time, and the first new set of those comes from what we're talking about next. In Dawn of the Hunt, we're adding Asmerian Wisps, which can be found throughout both the campaign and the endgame. The Asmeri spirit has made itself present in Rayclast, and it appears to be trying to warn, or maybe prepare us for the coming darkness. You will first encounter a manifestation of it in the Grellwood in Act 1, where you'll meet Delwyn, an Asmeri hunter who is trying to find
Oh,
out
we
what
get these
exactly
all the
is
way
causing
starting in
spirit
Act
to
1.
behave this way. As you approach the wisp, it will flee, leading you past monsters. Any monsters it comes into contact with are infused by it.
What's
making them
chat
more
saying?
powerful. Each spirit is
Hey,
associated with
log
a
in.
specific revered animal within Asmeri culture. This one is a wisp of the Great Bear, and grants enemies extra life and stun.
Wooden
The
club!
wisp moves
Wooden
faster the
club!
closer you are,
What the
and
fuck
as you
was...
move away, they slow down to wait for you. But if you get too far away for too long, they'll dissipate and return to the woods. As you continue to chase the wisp, it will
It's,
finally possess a rare or unique monster,
kind
granting
of
it
like
new
Abyss.
powerful ability. Because this was a wisp of
In
the
like
Great
a way,
Bear,
if you think about
this
it.
monster now also has increased life and stun. But on top of that, it will periodically summon a large spectral bear that slams with wild fury.
That
If
hurts
you're able
us?
to defeat this foe, you will be rewarded. For each monster that was infused and killed along the way, the rewards will be increased.
Yeah, I guess it
Each
hurts
wisp
us.
has its own mechanics. The
like
wisp
an
of the
essence.
Winter Owl is a primal wisp that causes enemies to deal extra cold damage, gain energy shield, and release wind vortices on death. When infusing a monster, they will call down large tornadoes to protect their host. The wisp of the wild cat is a vivid wisp that causes affected monsters to deal
Those
more
things,
critical
those tornadoes are
strikes
gonna one-shot
and
you.
become more evasive. When it infuses a
They're
monster,
actually gonna
it will
full
summon a
one-tap you.
barrage of feline spirits that will attempt to tear you limb from limb. If you're lucky, you may even find sacred wisps that can do some pretty crazy things to the monsters they influence. Like the wisp of the cunning fox, which turns normal monsters into magics, magic monsters into rares, and rare monsters into actual bosses.
Ooh,
Asmerian
that
wisps
one's gonna
can
be
drop a new
spooky.
set of socketable items that allow you to craft a wide range of interesting new mods onto your items. Each one may only be used on a specific item slot. As mentioned, the Asmerian wisps can be encountered throughout the game, but there's also a new endgame map called the Asmeri Ranges, a mountain village where the Asmeri once lived, now overrun with corrupt monsters. This map always has multiple Asmerian wisps in it, and familiar, yet not quite the same boss fight. Asmerian wisps can also be further modified by the endgame atlas tree as well, and by tablets. But I'm not going to be the one talking about those things. In order to cover all the new content in endgame, I'm going to hand things over to Mark.
Hi, I'm Mark Roberts, Game Director on Path of Exile 2.
I feel like they're
There's a ton
done.
to talk about with
What's
the
more
endgame
to...
today, so let's
Hey,
dive
what
right in.
more is to be talked about? I
Path
feel
of
like we're
Exile
done.
2's early access began with a brand new endgame, and it was clear that it needed a lot of work. After absorbing your feedback, we're ready to make
The
some
stream is,
epic
like,
changes.
Stuttering. Or is that the video?
First thing is, we just need a lot more content. In Dawn of the Hunt, we have made sure to focus on increasing the sheer number of interesting and different encounters you will randomly stumble into as you explore the endgame.
They don't need to
And
increase
second
the
goal is
number, they
smoothen
need
the
to just
progression through maps
make
and
more
reduce the amount
unique
of
ones.
annoying busy work.
I don't
To
want to see
start with,
Breach 100
let's
times.
talk about the new interesting stuff to find.
I want to see like
Well,
100 different
the
mechanics.
most obvious
Obviously
thing to
not
add
100,
are new maps. As well as the Asmeri Ranges that Jonathan mentioned earlier,
Okay.
Dawn of the Hunt also contains 7 other new maps.
What is that,
All with
Cove?
their own custom encounters.
Ritual?
Let's start with this one.
The Feral Megaliths map starts off in the wild Ezomite forests. As you progress through the forest, you will find mysterious rune-carved stones that, when
Fuck was
touched,
that?
surge with energy. After activating all the stones, you can find a grand henge.
Does that beam hurt
where
you?
all the energy is coalescing. You can then start an encounter. The area darkens, a storm moves in, and a concentration of energy summons a dangerous boss.
Does that shit
You
hurt?
must fight and defeat the boss to get its rewards. Once you have defeated it, summon another.
Huh?
And another. And another. And another. You have
What?
10 total waves of boss fights which get incrementally more difficult. If you manage to defeat them, you get full boss rewards, but also opportunities to get new runes. These can only
Wait,
be
that
obtained from
seems-
this map. The Fractured Lake contains a surreal waterscape with fractured mirror-like objects. As you move around the map, the
So
terrain
Calandra's
itself
map?
elevates from below, creating the ground you walk on. In this unique map, all the rare monsters are mirrored, so you're always fighting 2 of the same rare at the same time, which can prove quite difficult. If you manage to overcome that challenge and make it to the end of the map,
What are those
you'll be presented
things
with
that are
a
like
broken
floating in the
mirror,
water?
a powerful altar-like object that contains an item within it. The item
Plus 3
contained
level
within is a
minion.
new base type, either an amulet or a ring, that can be crafted to have additional
Well, it's a
prefixes
POE1 base
or
type, but-
suffixes at the cost of the other. The last unique map we'll show today is one based around the essence mechanic. You enter a crystalline
Desert?
cavern, and you will find a powerful map boss imprisoned in the center. It is surrounded by many rare
Oh, it's just
monsters,
essence.
also imprisoned in essences.
Unique essence.
By freeing and defeating the rare monsters, the essence they held will be upgraded to a greater essence. and be added to the imprisoned map boss. How brave are you?
Oh, that's
How
fucked.
many essences will you add to the boss?
That's fucked.
You
None.
do it, and you might lose everything.
Nah,
Underdo it, and you might regret
that's
it.
way too
It's
fucked
your
for
choice.
hardcore. Nah, look at it.
Speaking
He
of
got two
essences,
tapped by an auto
alongside
attack.
visual improvements, you're now able to apply Val Orbs to corrupt the essences with a range of unpredictable
Nah.
outcomes. It could
Oh, look at
increase the
the
number of essences,
mana and HP pots.
reroll all the essences
They're
to the same
hybrids.
type, or even upgrade the essences to greater essences.
Oh,
What if
this
you
is
already
so
made
dangerous.
essences? Well,
I'm never
you
doing
can
these.
upgrade those too. We have 4 new corrupted essences: Essence of Hysteria, Delirium, Horror, and Insanity.
Each corrupted essence has its own
I'm never
interesting
ever
combat
doing that.
mechanics.
Those
For
will
example,
literally two tap.
The Essence of Insanity causes you to question even your own mind, as monsters split into shadowy clones, and you must locate the real one before a devastating icy explosion freezes everything around it.
This
Each of these has their own crafting outcomes. The Essence of Insanity can be applied to a belt. It adds a mod that will
This is
ensure
too
the
dangerous
next
for
Val Orb
hardcore.
used on the
It's
belt
too dangerous.
will
Don't do
guarantee
this here when
adding
you play
2
hardcore.
enchantments.
Don't play this.
It's worth noting all the essences in the unique map can also be corrupted too, if you're willing to risk it. It's worth noting we have also added 10 extra Atlas passive points you can earn by completing 5 different unique maps.
This is
Now,
not POE1
new maps
essence.
are just the beginning. We had a goal where we wanted to make sure you were constantly finding exciting new content, and that it could be lurking around any corner. So, we have added a bunch of new things that you could stumble into in any map you run.
On your travels, you will sometimes encounter rogue exiles. Others like you who have been exiled and are openly hostile.
I'm
Some
hoping
are
that they
malicious,
drop the gear that
some
they're
are
wearing.
mad, while others are simply fiends for loot. They will challenge you, a fight to the death. They use the same skills available to players, and even the same items. They aren't just dressed up in those items, they're actually using them. It's going to feel like a true player versus player
I hope they
situation.
drop them too.
Of course, if you are able to slay these exiles, those items will all drop on the ground.
Alright, I don't
So
believe
if
you.
you encounter an exile using a powerful or valuable unique item,
It-
which you can see displayed
Really?
under their life bar, you want to be damn sure you kill them. Because if they kill you and your party, they'll portal out, taking their items with them.
Taking your... Oh, what if they took your items? That would be crazy. What if they took your items?
These exiles are much smarter than your regular monster. They have capabilities to dodge roll, avoid your abilities
Alright,
for
I'm
smart
happy.
pathfinding,
I'm
smart
happy.
targeting, and much more action-packed gameplay.
Is this just maps?
Fortunately,
Is
they're
this
like
in-
you, and they're not super durable. Unless, of course, they're wearing uniques like Calm's Heart, in which case, expect a longer battle.
But you get a
There
calm
are
start at
12
the end.
different rogue exiles you can find, each with their own skills and personalities. Some may insult you, while others may admire your honor in combat.
Another encounter you might stumble onto in Dawn of the Hunt are one of 4 new unique strongboxes.
What if, like,
Strongboxes
when
are
they kill
chests with
players, they keep their
modifiers.
items?
When you try to open them,
They take
they
their
activate
items,
traps
or at least
and
copy
spawn
of their
waves
items?
monsters that you must defeat to access
They
them.
go to attack other
Let's
players.
take a look at 2 of the new unique boxes that are harder
You
to
die
find
with the mage blood.
and behave just a
Now it has a
little
mage
bit
blood.
differently. The Ogham's Legacy Strongbox has a corpse splayed out in front of the rune-carved stone. Upon interacting with the stone, you activate Forbidden Ezomite magic.
Why
which
do we
revives
still
the
have to
monster as
identify
a
stuff?
powerful rare. The Strongbox comes with a modifier which determines how many times it will revive that rare. Each time you defeat the monstrosity, the Strongbox revives it again, adding an extra modifier to the monster.
Okay.
Each resurrection, it becomes more difficult, but also more rewarding.
Extra crits explode nearby corpses,
This
extra
strong
chaos
box is
damage.
infused with thaumaturgy from ancient Val technology. Eshell's Torment has a powerful artifact inside, and is guarded by chaos itself. Defeating the monsters will grant you a unique item
Shooting a laser
with
beam at you.
specific corrupted outcome. You'll have to find the
Beetle.
other 2 for yourself to see what they do.
Eagle box. Scarab box.
Now,
Gamblo
let's talk about
box.
the introduction to the endgame. Upon starting the endgame, Doriani tasks you with cleansing corruption to help restore the land. However, in practice, the quest objective just sent you on a grind to clear 15 maps. We wanted to make the quest to unlock your Atlas passives much more interesting.
Now, Doriani is tasking you with a more specific objective.
141,000.
On the Atlas, you will find areas of corruption caused by the beast. In the center of each one, you will find a corrupted nexus, the source of the affliction. In the areas leading up to the nexus, you will notice that corruption spills out from slain enemies and amalgamates into powerful monsters. Corrupted maps existed on the Atlas before, but we've done significant work on improving these monsters. We've also done these full pass on the modifiers on these monsters, also to make them more interesting and more rewarding. Once you reach the nexus, you will have a new task: cleanse the source of corruption. When you defeat the last rare in those maps, they will spawn one of 3 terrifying bosses, amalgamations of corruption itself. After defeating that boss, Doriani will come and cleanse the corruption for good. As the remains of the boss are purged of corruption, it coalesces into raw crystallized power, which you can use to gain points for your Atlas passive skill tree. The upgrade system that allows you to add and enhance content in your maps.
This is whatever.
We didn't stop there though. When you complete a corrupted nexus, all of the remaining surrounding corrupted maps will become cleansed maps. Cleansed maps also have new monsters, a new boss.
There's something about the doing these that just doesn't. I just don't care. It'll be good or it won't, and it's gonna change in, you know, a couple months.
These orbs can be used in crafting on a rare item to cause one of its
Because every single
modifiers to
update,
become
this
fractured.
endgame's gonna change.
A fractured
So
modifier is one that cannot be modified by any means. You are able to freely modify the item, ensuring the fractured modifier will never change. If you get the right item with the right mod, it can prove to be a very powerful crafting base indeed. You must now choose.
how rare are those?
Do you complete all the corrupted maps and then the Nexus? Or maybe you beeline to the Nexus, complete it, and do all the remaining maps cleansed. Both have rewards to entice you and challenges to assess. Now, let's have a talk about towers. One thing we've had a lot of feedback on is the busy work around running towers and managing your tablets. The first change we've made here is that we have reduced the number of towers drastically, so there are now 1/3 as many as before, but
But are
we've
they
made
bigger?
them much more powerful. To start with, tablets now inherently add twice as many mechanics, but that's not all. Running
Okay.
higher tier maps and towers now increases the number of mechanics applied by tablets. By tier 15, the bonus is double, allowing a single tablet to now add 4 times as many mechanics as before. So, we're running far fewer towers, dealing with fewer tablets, and
Oh,
affecting
I thought
even
it
more
meant
maps
to
than
each
before.
map, so
But
it's just
because there
in
are fewer
general
towers
all the stuff
overlapping with
around
each
it.
other, you won't get
Okay.
as many opportunities to stack
Okay.
different tablets. In order to solve this, we've made it so that each tower can consume up to 3 tablets at once. You always get 1 slot on completing the tower, but if you can complete a tower with more mods on the waystone, you can unlock a 2nd or 3rd slot. Overall, this allows for even more juicing from towers, while drastically reducing the amount of busy work you have to do. On top of that,
Okay.
towers are much
Seems
more
good.
interesting maps because they can now spawn with all mechanics, including bosses. Each tower map has a new boss. Let's take a look at a couple here. The boss fight of the Alpine Ridge map has 2 powerful witches contesting for territory.
Fuck is happening?
One witch has an affinity for ice, the other fire. Who will win? Hopefully neither. The boss of the sinking
Oh, it's
spire
Solaris
is a
fight.
remnant of the Val that has been charged with the lightning. It uses a full suite of lightning abilities. But be careful. If any of them hit the surrounding constructs, they will power up. Another thing
Oh,
that we've
weird.
seen a lot of feedback about
That's
is
kinda cool.
sustaining waystones. As we looked into it, we realized that the people who couldn't sustain waystones were dying a lot. A lot more than we had expected. And that made us realize something. During the campaign, the expectation is that you can die multiple times.
Oh man,
or
I don't
to
know if
learn
they
how
should
to
be fucking
overcome
with any of
challenges.
this.
You are
Because now
able to
there's new
learn how the
support
monsters
gems,
behave,
which
adapt
might
to their
drastically
skills,
change
and
that.
eventually overcome them. But as soon as you get to the endgame, you are effectively no longer allowed to die if you want to sustain waystones. By the time you are getting towards the end of endgame, we want you to have to be careful not to die. But it certainly shouldn't be that we have such a sudden shift as you run your first maps. The first change we're making is you can now respawn and return to a map if you die.
Well, that doesn't
Continuing
work.
from where you left off. When you start the endgame, you get up to 6 total attempts per map. As you add more modifiers to a waystone, the number of respawns goes
This doesn't
down.
affect me at all. If I
This
die,
means
I'm
that
back on
as
the
you get
beach.
to the point that you're running every waystone as a rare, you will have to be more careful.
Yeah. If I die, I'm back on the beach.
In parties, everyone gets to respawn
whatever.
that number of times. But we still think it's important that you can kill a boss in one go. In order to allow that to happen, we've
I
made
have
a
no
change
fucking
so
clue
that
how
once
good
you
or
start
bad
the
this
boss
is.
fight, it changes over to the same respawning system we use for pinnacle bosses. This means that the map owner can choose to respawn everyone at the same time. Another complaint we've seen a lot of is players not wanting to do the pinnacle content because of the experience penalty from dying. A change we've made here.
I haven't
is
got
that
to
all
pinnacle content yet.
now no longer
I need
grants
to,
experience, but
need to lock
also no longer
in.
removes experience on death either. Dawn of the Hunt also brings the first batch of Twilight Order reliquary keys from the early access supporter packs.
There's no
These
way
keys
there's supporter
contain
packs
items
for
selected by our
this
supporters.
update, right?
They can contain any unique item found in Path of Exile 2. If the selected item is a pinnacle boss drop, then only special keys dropped by this content will be able to provide these items. For example, Hand of Wisdom in action can only come from a key dropped by Zesht. We're also making a change that allows pinnacle boss uniques to drop at any difficulty. Rarer uniques will be rarer at lower difficulties, but still possible to find. This applies to the drop chances for the reliquary keys from this content as well. We spoke about towers and tablets earlier, but we have also added a suite of unique tablets. Each of these adds crazy interactions to the maps influenced by it. For example, this unique tablet allows you to run any map in a tower's radius without requiring connections, which can be quite useful for jumping gaps and traveling around your atlas.
I don't know if
And
that's
this
going to be
tablet
useful.
causes all runic monsters spawned during expedition encounters to be duplicated, and
Oh.
weakens all expedition monsters that emerge from the ground.
That's
The Atlas
Kinda
tree
crazy.
has also been expanded, and you can find many of the new mechanics there, and improvements to existing ones too. Now through this livestream we have mentioned quite a few new crafting options that we've added. New runes, corrupted essences, fractured mods and jewelry crafting bases. But we did have just one more crafting system to talk about. Recombination. Expedition was the only in-game mechanic that was lacking a crafting system, so that needed to
Okay.
change. Recombination is a mechanic that might be familiar to some players. It allows you to merge two items together,
okay.
hoping to get the best elements of each
Is
on a
Ziz
single new
pogging out of his fucking
This new
mind?
crafting bench will be unlocked as you complete your first expedition, and requires artifacts found during expeditions to fuel it. The
Oh,
rarer the mods on the item
it
you are
forces
combining,
you
the
into
more
expedition.
expensive the cost. That wraps up all the major
Eh.
in-game changes we're talking about today. With all the system changes and new content, we can't wait to get in there, start blasting maps, and obliterating monsters. There is one more thing we wanted to clarify before we move on, which is that all the content we've talked about today will be made available in the existing early access leagues, so you can play your existing characters. However, there will be new leagues made for those who wish to start in a fresh economy.
Oh,
It is
here we go.
recommended to start over and get the full new experience in the Dawn of the Hunt leagues. For all our existing early access players, we're really looking forward to joining you playing in this new update. For those who don't already have access and are interested in playing Path of Exile 2, Dawn of the Hunt, you are able to at any time purchase an early access supporter pack at www.pathofexile2.com. Additionally, the Paladin and Penance supporter packs are now available to purchase in Path of Exile 2.
Wow, they are
They
doing
contain
supporter
6
packs.
microtransactions each, and the full pack's face value in points.
This,
All the
so will there be
microtransactions contained
supporter
within
packs
these
for
packs are purely
POE1
cosmetic
as well?
and do not affect your character's power or progression in any way.
Oh
Thank you
wait,
so much for
I already
your
have
ongoing
these.
Support. We're just
Wait, I
about
already
to
have
start
that
the
supporter
Q&A
pack. That's the
with ZD.
POE1 supporter pack.
With release at the end of next week, our community team will be posting
They're
crucial
just re-releasing
information
them.
you need for the release. Keep an eye on the news. On release weekend, we expect to launch the new mystery box and many new microtransactions, including Path of Exile 2's first alternate skill effects. Thanks for joining us today and checking out our latest developments. We're looking forward to playing the Huntress, trying new builds, and exploring the new endgame next week. We'll begin the Q&A shortly, so please get your questions ready.
Okay. That was cool. I think the new support gems are probably going to be the biggest thing. 100 plus. So is that 101 or is that going to be like 190? I think that's going to be the biggest thing. I don't know how the ascendancies will feel. Spectres are going to be crazy. Ziggy, we can't hear you at all. Nope, can't hear him at all.